So, this is a brand new series. I'm gonna express my thoughts on whatever the topic is of the day with a guest. And my first guest here today is John. Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm John. I'm a plain old white boy who likes some video games. Nothing much else to that. I don't know.
All
Sorry I
right.
fucked up your intro.
Not really.
Oh, I
I
shouldn't have
suck
said.
at them in general.
I shouldn't have said fuck. Now you're gonna get demonetized.
Nah. 25 minutes on the clock. We're just gonna talk about whatever.
Alright,
I think
sounds good.
today I wanted to talk about the Xbox because it's so fresh, it's so relevant.
Mm.
I wanted to get your thoughts. So, do you know what's going on with the Series X?
From what I've seen on Twitter, I'm guessing that they unveiled the price for it,
Close.
and
Ooh.
there's also another one that looks like a speaker.
Yes. So, Microsoft unveiled the Xbox Series S. Or not Microsoft. Actually, it was leaked out, and Microsoft did had to come out and just say it was real, because it is. Um, they were kind of upset about that, I guess, but I think they handled it pretty well. They didn't reveal the price of the Series X, not really, but the S is about $299, $300
Hmm.
for it.
It's not that bad.
It isn't for a cheap gaming console.
Yeah, for real. Like,
Does that change anything for you? Are you gonna get an Xbox?
oh no.
Why
I
is
I
that?
I didn't really grow up with Xbox. I'm growing up with PlayStation, and I was just gonna kind of stick with it because a majority of the games I play are on PlayStation and like PlayStation
Yeah.
only. So I just kind of like, well, I'll stick with what I have, you know. Plus, like, I don't know. I have nothing against Xbox. It's just there's no point in me owning an Xbox and a PlayStation. And if I had to choose, I'd probably get a PlayStation again because I'm so used to it.
That's a fair answer. I actually think me myself I'm gonna get one, and that's only to play those Xbox games. And by those Xbox games, I think we all know I mean Halo at this point. Like, you know,
Isn't it
sure,
gonna be
Mike.
on PC?
Well,
Isn't it gonna be
yeah,
on?
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I might see
Good.
if you bring it up like that, then I might not even in general get one because I just built me a PC.
I was gonna say, what other Xbox exclusives do you think are gonna be on the console? Like besides Halo?
Xbox did announce a bunch of exclusives, if I recall. It's just that, I don't remember them. And that's upsetting. Um, my thing is with Xbox, like, they just bought a bunch of game studios or whatever. It wasn't really that recent, but they bought them a couple years back. So they're supposedly supposed to have like a bunch of games just ready. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they haven't showed us the whole, their whole hand yet. And I think that's kind of what they're waiting on PlayStation to do. They've been both playing this like back and forth, he said,
The,
she said, waiting
yeah.
for, I don't even know how to describe it properly, but they're just waiting for each other to do stuff.
They're slowly showing each other their hand, like in a card game or something like that. They're basically like, yeah, well, I got this, and they're like, yeah, but I got this, and then it's just like,
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary at that point.
yeah. My stance on the whole Microsoft thing is, if you wait a while, they tend to put the game that was exclusive to Xbox on PC. Like, for example, back when Xbox One was dropping, one of the launch titles was Sunset Overdrive, and I thought that game looked hella cool. It was going to be potentially the reason I bought an Xbox One, but I never got around to getting one. I never really had an interest in getting one, and then like I think like it was either the winter of 2018 or the winter of 2019. I think it was 2018. They dropped Sunset Overdrive on Steam, just like no announcement or anything. It was just on there, and I just like, all right, and it was like $20, so I just bought it, and it's pretty good.
True. Yeah, I do remember you talking about Sunset Overdrive. I never got around to playing that one myself. In fact, I don't even think I played half of the Xbox exclusives,
Yeah.
despite
I've heard.
owning one.
Oh, go ahead.
Despite owning one, that's all I was gonna say.
I've heard that that some people consider Sunset Overdrive to be as annoying as like a Borderlands game, with how like the dialogue can be. I never found it that bad. I always just looked at it as like punk culture, you know, like punk rock in like early 90s and whatnot, or like 2000s, where it's got like the hair metal, well, not hair metal, I don't know. Just like crazy mohawks and like spiked jackets, and like that's how the dialogue kind of comes off.
Mm.
And I could totally understand some of them finding it kind of annoying. I like it, but the other reason I like it is I just like the music, because it's a bunch of actual like punk bands. Remember, one of the songs in the game starts off, and the song just starts off with, "We're gonna have a party, fuck you."
Oh.
And I was like, alright, I can get behind this game.
Mm-mm. Well, enough of Xbox. What about Nintendo? You like any of the news Nintendo's brought out recently?
How recent? I don't think I'm gonna get that Super Mario collection. I kind of own a couple of those already. The only one I don't is Sunshine.
Yeah. You think they'll
I don't-
release them separately?
The games separately? Maybe they'll put them like on the Switch, like digital only separately, is my guess.
I feel like they might, yeah.
I don't like that they made it like limited release. I think that's kind of lame. It's like, why not have these available for like ever, you know?
Yeah, I saw the limited stuff and I was like, well, if it's gonna be a digital thing, then why is it limited? It doesn't make any sense. I feel
Yeah.
like they're gonna change their mind on that soon.
Otherwise than that, the other news that they did like very recently was that Hyrule Warriors sequel with the 100 years before Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer, but from what I've seen, I think that's a pretty cool concept. I really love Breath of the Wild.
Still, you know, believe it or not, I actually own. I just bought Breath of the Wild, and I still haven't
Yeah.
beat it.
Yeah.
After all these years, like, I think I kind of know what happens in the end. I'm pretty sure I've seen it before. I just don't remember because it was just that long ago.
Yeah.
But I actually bought A Link to the Past and been playing that more than I've been playing Breath of the Wild.
Oh, Link to the
is-
Past.
Yeah, I really love that game, to be honest.
This Super NES one?
Yeah, they just remade it.
You're thinking of Link's Awakening.
You're right. It is Link's Awakening that I'm playing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said A Link to the Past, but yeah.
Well, they're very similar. Like
Yeah.
the top-down Zeldas.
Yeah.
Remade Link to the Past with Link Between Worlds. Like sort of remade it. I remember I got that. I got a special edition 3DS for that with that game. It was like golden, and it had the Triforce on it.
I do remember that now, actually. That whole era. Dang, what year was that?
That was early 2010s.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like it was around that time.
I traded that 3DS in. I wasn't a huge fan of the golden. It always kind of felt off whenever I played any other game with it. So I traded it in, and I got one of those new 3DSs, mainly so I could play Xenoblade, and that was it.
Xenoblade Chronicles. Another game I have no idea anything about. You know.
It's hard to talk about, honestly. I think it's a really cool game, but I can't invest myself in it. I've heard it compared to like a bunch of the great RPGs, well, JRPGs, but I can't totally invest myself in it, but I want to. I think it's really good.
Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Shit. Trying to figure out what. Trying to remember what else happened recently. Oh, Avengers. Have you heard anything about Avengers? Like,
The
have you seen
Avengers.
anything on it?
Yeah, I've seen how the quick time events are not quick time events.
Yeah. I've been playing it recently, the multiplayer, and that game needs a lot of work. Like, it needs to be
Uh,
fixed.
oh. Wasn't it in beta like 2 weeks ago?
Well, yeah, because they always try and drop a beta and say, hey, this is what the game is like before they, release the game, and
Yeah. Just call it a demo.
just call it a demo. I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
because people were playing, they released a little bit of the online missions, I believe, with that. So that's what that
I
was.
I think it looks interesting. I love the idea of like cause it has like RPG mechanics where you gotta like equip gear and whatnot to the Avengers, and like
Mm.
you can get like different armor for them. I love that, but from what I've heard, I haven't heard that many great things about the game, so I'm just kind of like, maybe I'll wait for like a sale or something like that.
Oh, shit. My ass actually got the deluxe edition of the
Uh,
game, thinking that would be good. A bunch of people are that I know play it, and they were like, "Oh, it's decent, like it's good enough to play." I started playing the multiplayer myself, and well, I tell you, they spawned. My cousin was playing Captain America. They spawned him in the sky, and he was just
oh,
falling for
oh
like
no.
10 minutes. It was funny. And there was one time he randomly got stuck somewhere, and I had to come like nudge him out as Iron Man. It was weird.
Oh no.
I've
Yeah,
ran into a bunch of glitches. Yeah,
that game does need some work. Yeah. Oh man. Isn't Spider-Man an exclusive for PS4?
he is. Not PS4, but PlayStation in general. He's not coming till 2021.
Oh, okay.
And people around me keep bringing up the point that this game is going to be well dead and irrelevant by time he comes out, and which is true because when you look at what's going to come out around that time, who's going to
Yeah.
still be playing Avengers? I know I'm gonna be playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm gonna be
I
playing
was
stuff like that.
I think a majority of people are going to be playing Cyberpunk because I know that's the big game that everybody wants, and I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I think Cyberpunk looks cool too, but there's part of me, and I don't want to say this, but I feel like it's gonna flop.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Cause like it's garnered so much hype that there's a chance that it could indefinitely disappoint everyone. Like everybody could just be like, "Oh, this is pretty good, but it's not what I expected." It's like, oh, like I doubt it's CD Projekt Red. I doubt it's gonna be like a Fallout 4 where it comes out and it's like, oh this sucks. No, I think it's gonna be like, oh, this is a playable good game, but it's just not what this like god game that we expected basically.
Exactly. Um, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think at all that this game's gonna hold up. I honestly feel like I'm gonna be upset buying
With
this game.
Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't want to say that, but I feel like, with all these recent delays, I
Mm.
don't know, man. I don't
It's
know.
hard to say. Right now, I'd just say put your faith in another game coming out, like just something else that you're excited for.
I'm trying to remember what else is coming out. And like, oh, Ratchet and Clank. I know I'm gonna play Ratchet. I'm gonna play the flames out of Ratchet and Clank. That game's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, you already know what I'm excited for. They got
What's
that. What's up?
what's that?
We got that new Yakuza coming out, and
Yeah.
I know everybody's sick of me talking about it. Everybody within my friend group. Not talking about everybody on YouTube. I don't talk about YouTube.
Yeah.
Uh, I love Yakuza. It's a great series. I'm very excited for this new one, mainly because it is going to be the most different thing from the whole series. As it's not even it's technically not an action game. It's a surprise an RPG. And I know that's the only thing I talk about. You'll notice that pattern if you watch this video.
I mean,
I just
you
like
know,
them. I
there's
just
nothing
like
wrong
them.
with
Sorry.
RPGs.
It's just
Nothing wrong with them.
I just love the fact that they just were like, okay, we got to do something different. Why don't we do like a action RPG for, well, not an action one, it's like a turn-based one technically. It's got classes and shit where you can like, you're not just a character who equips weapons. You can, I remember I saw like, if you've played like older Final Fantasies or like even older like Dragon Quest games, if
Yeah.
anybody has, they have a job system where you get to pick like, oh, like your main character is like can be like a warrior or like a mage or something like that, just something that fits his skills or whatnot. But in Yakuza, this one has decided to adopt that, but instead of it being like warrior, mage, and whatnot, it's like you can be a host, you can be like a rock star, and my favorite one is you could be a fucking break dancer.
That sounds random to me. Breakdancer?
In Yakuza 0, one of the characters' fighting styles he learned from breakdancing. It's probably the most fun fighting style in the whole series.
Okay.
Yeah, the other funny thing I wanted to tell you about it was this is the 7th game, 8th if you include 0, 7th game in the series, and the American version has decided to drop the 7 and just call it Yakuza Like a Dragon, which
Yeah.
like a Dragon is its Japanese name. Excuse me for this, but Ryuga Gokota. And the funny thing about that is that this is the 7th game and it decided to do the Yakuza and then the Japanese title, and I'm like, they just did what Resident Evil 7 did.
That is actually true. I just now
Yeah.
realized that that is what Resident Evil 7 did.
Maybe they
True.
dropped the 7 to avoid being compared to that.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Highly
Yeah,
doubt it.
man. Yeah, but I think it looks really fun, really interesting. Just something new and different, because I'm not gonna lie, the combat for Yakuza can get pretty stale after a lot of the games. So I'm just excited to see this new take on the whole series.
That's good. I don't even know what else is, dang, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know what exactly I'm excited for. I'm just excited in general for next gen, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, I do see myself getting an Xbox, but like
Yeah,
at the same
it's fun.
time, I think that's just value-wise. You know, because $3.99 plus I don't know if you heard about the all access thing they're doing, but apparently they're combining. I think they're combining all their stuff for like $34 a month, which is a good deal.
For $30 a month, you can play
34.
all their games.
34. Yeah, you get access to, I believe, Game Pass and all that stuff.
That's not bad. That's not
Yeah.
bad at all.
Plus a
That's pretty
$300 console is that's pretty interesting. I'm waiting to see what Sony's supposed to do now. Today, I don't know if you heard the rumor, but Sony's supposed to have some type of announcement today.
Today. Oh,
I doubt it's gonna happen. But I expect something from Sony's end soon, and they kind of need to, because the Series S is giving Microsoft a lot of momentum. In my opinion, my brother seems to think actually that this doesn't change anything at all, and that nobody's gonna buy the Xbox. And I'm just like, I don't know about that one.
Don't doubt the consumer. Don't doubt the consumer.
Yeah, $300 is a pretty damn good price point.
Yeah, it is actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about naming conventions. Why can't they just settle with something? Like Xbox One, it was a dumb name, but kind of made sense because 360 to 1, and then they're just like, okay, we got series this, series that, and then they have like Xbox One series, and it's just like, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, they have the Series S and the Series X. which is just like, to me, I don't you know, it's I don't really care too much about the naming, but I can understand how. Just picture this: you sent your mom, it's Christmas, you sent her to the
Yeah.
local GameStop and you told her you want the Xbox, and she goes there and she says, I want the Xbox, and she sees the Xbox One. She buys
She
you an Xbox One. You know, you'd be upset, so
no,
kind
she
of makes
gets you the
sense.
original one. She gets you the original. She gets you before 360. She gets you Halo 1 and 2. Classic.
Mm-mm-mm.
Whoop.
That'd be upsetting. But yeah. And then, PlayStation. You know, I'm not saying they did everything right here, but
Mm. But
they
yeah,
got their own issues.
yeah, they got to deal with those issues. I remember I had a choice to get the PS4 back when it came out. I remember I had a bunch of friends who played on the 360 at the time, so for that Christmas I got a 360, and then like a year later I got the 4, and
Yeah.
I kind of regret that because my Xbox 360 kind of just sits there now.
Yeah. Me and the Xbox 360 have a long history.
Mm.
I've had, I
Um,
want to say, 3 of them.
Red Ring of Death.
Yeah. Red Rings of Death. Yes.
Ugh.
Mm-mm-mm.
I I don't know. I was gonna say, you want to talk about what games we're playing right now?
Yeah. What games are you playing right now? Because you're always playing something different.
Yeah. So I I
Hmm.
I'm playing this older game called Tales of Symphonia. I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
been playing it. I haven't been playing it that much. Uh, I don't know what much else to say. I put about like 5-6 hours on the game right now, and I can say I enjoy it. But I'm playing the PC version of it, and it's really janky. The upping it to 60 frames per second was maybe not the best because sometimes it'll be very jarring with what goes on in the game. So,
It
like
is
you
an
could,
older game. I still remember my brother talking about it and playing it with my cousins.
yeah,
So,
I like you'll come out of a scene sometimes, and instead of it being like maybe a slow fade to black or like like it'll kind of like load its way in. It's just like snap, like you're there, and I'm like what, and it catches me off guard sometimes. But
mm,
I can say I enjoy it. I really like it, and it's a good game.
okay.
How about you?
I just finished up Ghost. Um,
Excellent game.
Game of the year, in my opinion. I don't think Cyberpunk is gonna beat this game. After beating it is what I'm saying. Like the plot twists, or not plot twists, but the story points at the end of Act 2 and Act 3 of the game
Yeah.
definitely make this game just crazy. Um, I just started Avengers. I hate the multiplayer right now because it's glitchy.
Ugh.
Um, it's really bad. Like almost make me regret my decision buying the game
To
bad.
buy it, yes.
Yeah, but besides that, like I was saying, I was playing Link's Awakening. I'm having a lot of fun with Link's Awakening. And then Breath of the Wild too. I definitely need to beat
Yeah.
that game, but it's gonna take me a while to do that.
I I played Ghost of Tsushima as well. I loved it. It's a fantastic game. I would potentially say it's my game of the year. There's way more to do in it than my other pick for game of the year,
What's that?
but Doom Eternal.
Ah,
There's a lot for me to love about Doom Eternal. The gameplay is really fun. Just how like story is Doom. It's not much else. There's not much to it besides lore, but there's just really fun gameplay and just really engaging. Some people have said they feel tired after they play it, so yeah, I can vouch for that. it was like a long day's work, and I know that doesn't sound fun as a game, but hey, people like Animal Crossing, so.
Mm.
Ghost of Tsushima, though, excellent game. It's very fun, very interesting. Combat was good. It's very fun to parry the
Yeah.
Mongols and whatnot. It's very fun. And I almost have done everything. I could probably platinum the game if I decided to just play it real quick.
Yeah, this game's definitely an easy platinum. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna do that myself. How do you have you seen the multiplayer? Are you gonna be playing the multiplayer when it comes out this month?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely try. I'm busy with school, so I don't know. But I'd love to try out the game, the multiplayer. It seems very fun and very different than the game. Being
Yeah.
as the game is very like kind of has this ground. It's kind of grounded in reality, but like the multiplayer looks very like fantasy based, and I really like that.
Yeah. I want to see what they're gonna do with it. In terms of what modes, they're gonna put in besides the one I think, or not the they didn't show any modes off. So yeah, I want to see what they're gonna put in the game.
Yeah. Well, I expect good things because this is Sucker Punch. They've made some fairly good games, so I'm excited.
A lot of good ones over the years.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that was all the time I have for today. And thank you, John, for being on
Thank you
this
for having me. Thank you for
episode.
having me.
And you, maybe I'll see you again on another episode. I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully I'm a good guest. I don't know.
Hopefully, you know.